about how to race and do other events at the same time. So you can see right now, Social Point has got 3 events going. So there's the Draken Armada Marathon. There is a mini maze, which they normally both do at the same time. So the mini maze and the marathon typically starts at the same time. And this time they've got a 3rd event, which is the Monster Challenge. So this doesn't normally happen. I don't know if this is going to keep happening in the future, but there is a proper Monster Challenge happening at the same time. So I remember when I first got into Monster Legends, it was super confusing because there's so much going on, and you're like, how do I do this? How do I prioritize? How do I do all of these things at the same time? So especially if you're in a high lap racing, say 60, 85 laps or higher, then it can get a bit overwhelming. So I'm going to show you guys how I managed to do all 3 things without wasting resources and also being efficient at the same time. So you can see here, we've got the race. The race keeps going. You just keep racing as per normal. Right now, we're waiting for an OFA to complete. Looks like it's starting now. And so you just race as per normal. And by racing, you will typically do maybe 50, 60% of your maze token tasks anyway. But a lot of people want to sort of min-max. I'm one of those min-maxing people, and I want to get as many of these maze coins as possible. So the things that you need to do is, first of all, collect gold. How do you collect your gold? So a couple of things. If your team struggles on the collect gold task, like the big joint effort or um, the big OFAs, then what I recommend you do is only do single collects and only do these for your regular habitats. So I've set up my island so that the regular habitats are pretty easy to find, and they're in places where I'm going to click pretty easily. So what I know is I've got a dark habitat here, collect that. I've got 3 regular nature habitats here, collect those. So you can see that a gold coin just triggered. So that just happens automatically. I don't think there's any regular habitats here. I don't actually have many regular habitats because I've optimized my islands quite a bit. There's a magic one here. And I think I'm missing a couple somewhere. Ah, there's a water one here. So there you go. There's some maze coins that have triggered that. So if you're like a free-to-play player, or if your team relies on you to collect lots of gold, then that's what I recommend. Just collect those only. And if you still haven't triggered it, then just keep spamming this one until it triggers some more. So if you're like me and you're kind of lucky and your team is pretty good, there's lots of high level players, then you can do something a little bit different. So if we scroll down my team here, we typically don't have too many problems on the gold overphase. There's lots of high level players, lots of people that have lots of gold. So what I do personally is I will select half the map and I will collect gold there whenever I want, pretty much. So these, look, I can collect these golds and I'm not too worried because I know that, one, my team can collect lots of gold, and two, I've collected a lot of monsters that have a lot of gold. So I get about 25 million gold per hour at the moment. So I know that if I need to, I can get my gold back up pretty quickly. So that's about all I'll do for now. And the other thing is food. So food, same thing. If your team is relying on you to collect food, then you don't want to do what I'm doing. You want to save your food, but my team's pretty good, so I'm going to collect some food. So there you go. I've got a 22 triggered, and I'll collect some of those as well. I'll leave some, so if there's a task that I need to do, I've got food to collect, but otherwise I'll just collect a bunch and save um, maybe a few as well. So good rule of thumb is to collect some and save the majority. So that way you will always be on top of your maze coin collections for both food and gold. Now the next thing is people use their breeding trees to breed Thunder Eagles a lot, and they use that as a 4-hour timer. I'm not a big fan of that because I think it's a bit of a waste. So what I do is in race, I'm breeding short things at the moment, so that'll keep tricking away. I'm breeding for uncommon and rare earths. So because I keep breeding those, I'll keep getting maze coins automatically. Now, the next question is, okay, Victor, Wubby, if you're not using Thunder Eagles as a timer, how do you know when you need to feed? So I'm gonna do a feed right now. I need some monsters to feed. Let's find some, oh, there we go. So this Alex Bone needs some feeding. So I'll do some feeding, get some maze coins, 15. Let's see if we get any food. I think I fed not that long ago for a task. So no food at the moment. But I need a timer. So there's two options that you can use. The first option that I use most of the time is I use my progressive. So what this says is you get 6 gold every 8 hours and an extra 3 gold if you're collecting every 4 hours. So this tells me that I'm on 15 gold. It means I've just done a collection. So if it's going up by 3s, then it means it's time to do a feed. So right now it's on 15, so it means it's time to do a feed. Next time it's time to do a feed is when it goes to 18, because I know been it's been 4 hours and it's time for another feeding frenzy. So that's what I use. The other option is to use PvP. So in PvP, you can see when your last attack was. So if we go to battle log, you can see attack. And for me, I just did an attack 19 minutes ago. But let's pretend that it's not a good example, but let's pretend here it actually says 4 hours. So because it says 4 hours and my last attack was 4 hours, if you do your feed at the same time as your attack, you can use your attack log as your timer, your 4-hour timer. So if you do all of those things, you'll see that you've covered off all of the things that need to be done to get all of your, where's the thing that shows you? Here we go, it's question mark. So if you're collecting your gold, collect some and save the rest, then you get your max 30 automatically. If you do the same with food, collect some and save the rest, you'll get your max 50 coins every 4 hours for food automatically. If you're using your timer, either the progressive or the PvP attack log, then you're gonna get your maximum 30 feeding food maze coins every hour, every 4 hours. The same thing with your attacks. If you're using your attack log to know that, hey, 4 hours has elapsed and you're doing an attack, then you're gonna get your 15 coins max every 4 hours. And if you're breeding anything that's less than 4 hours continuously, that's what I recommend, then you're gonna get both your breeding and your hatching coins automatically. So a lot of events, free events happening all at the same time, but you can, with some smarts, get all of your maze coins, be on top of all your progressive collections, and just race as per normal. So that's my tips on how to do all 3 events at the same time. If you enjoyed this video or if you learned something, please remember to share, subscribe, like, and comment. I'll see you guys next time.